Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene takes place in the restaurant of La Perfecta, the restaurant that is owned by Mr. Delano. I should make a brief note here in case the scene is ever watched after the timestamp. This scene is set prior to the incendiary bomb that was used to destroy this establishment, but that is neither here nor there. Mr. Damos, you have just exited a meeting with both the seneschal and the sheriff from one of the private rooms in the restaurant proper. The kitchen door that I believe you wish to go through is located just down the corridor and to the left.
All right. One note, after exiting that meeting that you just mentioned, Deimos had a quick discussion with Katja von Essen. He went back home to his bookstore, he took the 2 bottles of lupine blood, he came back to that place, the restaurant, and he gave them to the sheriff. So he's now exiting the second meeting with the sheriff where he handed over the lupine blood.
Oh, that's fine.
And he's going to the kitchen, knocking on the door.
The kitchen door opens as you knock on it, showing that it's not locked. It's not a particular. It's after hours this evening at this point, so Mr. Delano starts serving food at roughly around 8 o'clock in the evening, which also would probably give you an intimation as to exactly how high he is on his road that he gets up.
Exactly.
But basically, yes. So you will enter in. He's currently doing the cleaning up after his shift. So he's dressed in a white chef's outfit and black slacks, and the eyes flick up as soon as you enter, and the head kind of quirks to the side. He says, "Mr. Damos, how may I be of assistance to you?"
Mr. Delano, please excuse me for coming into your kitchen like that. Sir, frankly, I'm in need of your expertise. I have one question, please.
If I'm able to answer it, by all means.
All right, here's the thing. I have a very important task ahead of me that if I fail in it, perhaps I won't be here at all next week. I will meet my final death. So, in order to succeed in that, I will have to ghoul some very dangerous individuals. What I wanted to ask of you, is it possible to ghoul someone by spiking food or drink?
He leans back from his food prep area. He kind of puts his hands on the cool stainless steel metal of the prep area behind him, and he contemplates and he says, "Yes and no. If it's cooked, if heat is applied to it, then the effect is nearly instantly lost. Essentially, it cooks out the effect. And if it's put into drink, it's only viable for approximately 10 minutes or so before it loses viability. Also, you do understand, you have to put in quite a large amount of blood. Essentially, from an out of character perspective, obviously, in order to spike a food, you have to put or spike a drink, you have to put an entire point of blood into the food. Which is, bear in mind, your average human contains 10 points of blood, so you can work out roughly how much a point is.
All right, so let's say 6 liters, about 0.6 liter.
Yes.
So, and let's say I order a big pizza. Can I add a sufficient amount without the taste being identified?
Once again, it would have, if you're talking about a punch bowl, basically.
What's a punch bowl?
A bowl that contains punch, like
all right. Yes.
He leans back and you can see he's actually thinking about it. And he says, possibly, but then again, it depends. For example, if you're actively looking for it, you can smell blood if you use the powers of Auspex, even if it's highly diluted. But it'll fool a person. It'll fool your average run-of-the-mill person, provided the drink itself is meant to be red and has, been flavored in some way. They won't immediately tell it's blood.
Well, particularly, let's say pizza. Would there be any kind of type that would be more difficult to detect our blood, our kindred vitae?
Would there be any kind of what, sorry?
Kind of pizza, like barbecue.
In theory, if I was to do it, I'd put it in a drink, but I'd put it into something like a Bloody Mary because obviously that's a bright red drink anyway, and they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Also, vodka has a very strong smell,
Mm-hmm.
so it might mask the vodka. It might mask the blood. If once again, I don't think this would work on a kindred, particularly a kindred who had in any way mastered the art of auspex. But I think that it would be viable for people.
For lupines?
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to encounter lupines whenever possible.
Fair enough, sir. All right, let me not take any more of your time. I hope we see each other again.
My door is always open, Mr. Deimos, so please do not be a stranger.
So Deimos takes his leave, and he will call an Uber, and from the list he will try to hail a driver that looks the more straight he can be. There's a reason for that.
Okay.
And he will take him. She will ask him to take him to his bookstore. He will call his clerk. Let's call him Liam. And Liam, I know it's late at night. I really need your body at the store. Could you please come?
What?
It's a life or death situation, please.
Okay, I would need to go find pants. Okay, I can.
No need. All right, so let's say when we're there,
Okay.
as Liam is coming, Deimos will take the two thermos containers that he used to take the lupine vitae, and he will fill them up with his own blood.
Mm-hmm.
He has 5 blood points. Let's say we're down to 3.
Okay.
All right, so Liam comes.
Mm-hmm.
Liam, I'm going to expose you to a word that will make you lost and adult. I will tell you, I'm hoping that this will affect you, and in that time, I will tell you the name of a fictional character. Then I will hide this word, and I will ask you to repeat that name. I want to find out how much you can tell of what's going on while you're under the effects of this power.
I mean, okay.
He's a ghoul. He's a ghoul. He knows all about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm pointing out, but he's still kind
right,
of
yes.
like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so everybody, I'm in a hurry. I expose the word. He has to roll wits and investigation difficulty 8 to not be lost and addled.
Okay, we'll give him the average human pool for this, because that is fair. I will roll it in the rules room. Give me a moment. Difficulty 8, did you say?
Yes.
Nope. He is entirely addled.
All right, so I say Aegon Targaryen, and then I hide the word.
Okay.
And I slap him. What did I say?
I have no idea.
Excellent. Do you mind if I kiss you?
I would really rather not.
Anyway, this may be the last time, buddy. So I bite him and I take 2 points.
Okay. He will not struggle or whatever else have you, but
all right, so I will go back out to the Uber and I'll tell the driver, hey buddy, where can I get lucky here? Something not too expensive, average about 20 euros.
Okay. You want me to take you to a brothel?
No, something on the street. Not something fancy, something really quick. I don't last long.
He kind of looks you up and down and he goes, yeah, I wouldn't have expected you to.
Yeah.
He drives you through the darkened city streets of Dublin until you come to what I would refer to as that one street that exists in every city, where it's entirely populated by ladies and gentlemen, and I can't exactly tell of the night.
All right, so Deimos will approach a girl that looks the least fancy, the one who had the least demand.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
What can I do for you, sailor?
He opens his chest, exposing her to the world. Well, first of all, is anybody looking?
Beg your pardon?
I'm making sure real quickly that nobody's looking.
Okay.
I'm exposing her to the ward, which an investigation difficulty 8.
Holy shit, she succeeds.
Oh my god. Anyway, here's 10 for you. Next time, please don't be so witty. Bye-bye.
You gotta try again, someone else.
Someone else.
Okay, we'll do that exact same thing again.
All right, another girl. Same thing.
She also succeeds.
Oh my god, bachelor degrees really are useless in this place.
I mean, they only have 3 dice, but they're just rolling 10s. It's fine.
All right, another 10 to her, and off to the next person.
Off, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. You're eventually going to get this. I have faith. Nope, still?
What is it with your universities?
What? That our universities produce only hookers? I don't know. We're going to try this one last time because there's only
running out of money here.
There's going to be 4 of them on the street. Jesus Christ!
All right, I go back to the Uber driver. All right, buddy, I'm sorry for this. And I'm exposing him to the world.
All right, let's see how this one goes. I'm going to give him 4 dice because he's not like... Right, so why are you... What, you want to know why are you stripping from me? I didn't fucking pay for this. He also...
Anybody around?
That was, hang on, I just have to say, that was uncanny. That was literally, I did not expect all of those 8s to just pop up in the roll.
Well, here's the thing. I exhausted my bad luck, so nothing can go wrong anymore. So any customers going to the hookers, anyone?
All right, I'll give you one last roll of 3 dice, and we'll see if you can get lucky one last time. No! Fuck my life!
What a useless power. All right.
Everyone is just immune. I'm really sorry.
All right, buddy, take me to the graveyard. And if we see somebody on the road, please make a stop.
I'm going to roll a luck dice. High or low?
High.
Okay, let's see if there's somebody on the road. Because it's very late at night at this point. Yeah, there's somebody on the road. Let's see how...
Stop the car. Let's jump out, exposing... Excuse me, sir.
Yes! He botches!
All right, excellent, excellent. Finally, I grab him, I kiss him in the lips, and I grab his balls. And then I close my ward. Does he punch me?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm the happiest person who just received the punch.
Did you drink from this dude?
No, I didn't. I forgot.
I mean, that was the purpose, right? You wanted blood.
No, I didn't want blood. I wanted to see if he would know while he was under the effects of Changeling Ward, if he would know what's going on. So I kissed him, I grabbed his balls, something that any person would punch me. So the fact that he punched me while he was... Sorry, did he punch me or not?
Yes, he's punching you at the moment. I'm just rolling his dice to punch you.
So while he was under the effects of Changeling Ward, he could tell what was going on?
Yes.
But Liam wasn't able to tell.
You would assume that it's because there's a difference between a name being said, something that's relatively minor, and something that's a major personal breach. Like, basically, you could probably walk around, talk, do all kinds of other things, but the moment you physically interact in that kind of very base level, it imprints itself so hard on the mind that there is a reaction.
All right, that makes sense.
So you, wow, shitballs. You will take 1, 2, 3, 4 bashing damage.
Excellent.
So roll your soak. It is then the bashing halved after you soak.
3d10 greater or equal to 6 F1.
Oof.
All right, that's soak doesn't bots, no successes.
So you take two bashing as he socks you in the face.
All right, no problem. I don't even heal it.
You've got a black eye.
Sorry, buddy. I deserve that. So I'm going to the graveyard.
Okie dokie, artichoke. On a side note, I would like to say that was hilarious.
And Rust.
All right, so you enter the graveyard. Now, the graveyard itself is one of those very. Did you just go to the nearest graveyard that existed, or did you choose one for any particular purpose?
Well, I just told the Uber driver, take me to the graveyard, so I had made no research. He would tell me which one, and I would say the oldest.
Okay, that's important. So you go to the oldest graveyard. Okay. Enter into the graveyard. It's one of those crumbling stone walls that were probably erected Lord knows when, with those large cast iron gates that loom over you, and always, regardless of the season, regardless of the wind, seem to creak on their own rusted hinges, slowly shifting back and forth. You enter into the graveyard, and Deimos, you immediately feel a chill go through you. And this is a very unusual chill that you haven't felt before on this side of the shroud. It goes through you like a knife, causing even your undead bones to shiver.
Oh my. All right. I'm activating Shroud Sight.
Okay.
Perception plus alertness, difficulty 7.
Remember, this is really important. All blood magic, including necromancy, requires 1 blood immediately to use.
All right.
Just pointing.
I'm removing it, so that leaves me down to 2 blood points.
Mm-hmm. You're
right.
really. Hang on. What's your self-control?
My self-control is 2.
Okay. If you spend 1 more blood, you have a sad time. But continue.
Okay. So what's the difficulty? Normally it's 7. Is it lower because of the shroud?
Yes, it is now difficulty 5.
All right, 4 successes.
Okay. This place should be filled with ghosts, wandering specters, basically the ordinary ephemeral beings that inhabit every graveyard. It's not. It's completely, teetotally empty. And that is so unusual.
Can I make some guess, some educated guess why this is?
Yes, you can. Hang on. What lures do you have?
All right, I have Kindred Wraith 2.
I'll let you roll Intelligence Wraith lore.
All right, that's 5 dice. Difficulty?
We're gonna make that difficulty 7.
Zero successes.
You're not sure. You feel a shifting movement, is how I'll describe it, around you. As on the other side of the shroud, you see from the corner of your eye what looks to be the flapping of fabric. And as you turn around, you look up to see this thing looking straight down at you. It's about 8 feet tall, and it's just looking straight down at you.
8 feet tall, and what is it? A humanoid standing behind me?
It's a humanoid shape with a skull-like face. Its entire body is covered in a black shroud. Not quite Grim Reaper-like. The shroud itself is much more detailed and much more ornate than you would expect. And it's threaded with silver thread that's covered in what looks to be some kind of pattern, maybe some kind of old language. I don't think your character speaks or can read Ogham, which is Old Celtic.
No.
But that's essentially what he sees. And the figure is looking down at you with blank eyes as you see black wisps of smoke and mist come from between its teeth.
I will activate Lifeless Tongues. spending 1 willpower point. I'm down to 3 willpower right now, and it's to speak with it. It's perception plus occult, difficulty 6.
It'll be difficulty 4 now.
Excuse me?
It will be difficulty 4 now.
All right. Seven successes.
Oh yeah, you can talk to it.
Good evening, sir. Can you understand me?
It nods its head once.
I come in peace, looking for denizens of the other side of the shroud, but I don't see anyone. Would you be able to direct me?
That's because they are... I do not wish to use the term lost, but at the present they cannot be found.
Anywhere?
This city has been thrown out of balance.
And what would be able to restore balance?
Good evening. It kind of appears to be contemplating that statement, and it says, as it says, the heart of the necropolis, the Stygian stone that anchors this place, has been pilfered. I don't know why, but it has made my job and the job of the other boatmen rather more difficult. And this place, our world and yours, bleed into one another because of its loss. We would like it returned.
Do you know who took it?
It shakes its head.
Were I to help, would that be appreciated?
It would be remembered.
What can you give me for me to find it? I mean, information-wise.
What do you want?
Where to start? Where was it? Who would crave it?
The Stygian stone was located at the heart of Dublin's necropolis. It has been there since this place first became a bastion of souls. The dead of the island are brought here, so that they may either seek oblivion or be used for the guild's purposes. As who would claim it, it is a vast source of necromantic energy. It can be used to do terrible, terrible things.
So the suspects would be numerous. Anybody who is craving power, anyone who's a student of necromancy. Would you kindly lead me to where it was located? I can cross the shroud if that would be required.
What's it?
I'm sorry, Evan, I don't hear you.
Sorry about that, someone was talking to me.
Sure, no problem, no problem.
It will say, I cannot take you, and you cannot go, because the stone has been lost. It is no longer, the necropolis is no longer anchored. And that is what is tearing the veil, the shroud, however it is you choose to describe it.
Well, sir, I can cross the shroud myself. If I were to do that, would you be able to lead me to the necropolis? And that way I would be able to start my investigation from the place where it was taken. I can read some emotional imprints. Perhaps that would give me the first clue.
I cannot take you there, however, I can bring to you the plinth on which it's set, if that is agreeable.
That would be most helpful. And if you did that, I would be very happy to start my investigation.
It moves its hand to the side, its long cloak flowing. And when the cloak is withdrawn, you see a large pillar that appears to be made of black obsidian-like stone that's been beautifully carved to look like dozens of spiritual faces that all have their eyes closed. On which it's completely flat, save in the middle where there's a small indent. You'd assume that the stone itself must be somewhat egg-shaped and sits in that little indent.
Palm-sized, like a fist?
Yeah, slightly smaller, maybe about the size of your thumb.
Okay. So I would like to oracle, the spirit's touch, not or absorption, because I do not want to absorb the memories. I want to read them.
Okay, so
it's the same mechanics. It's rolling. By the way, I wanted to ask you about this. Since I have both powers, could I have them? How do you call it? Synergize in any way?
Not really, unless there's a combo discipline that lets you do it.
All right, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, give me just a second. The difficulty of this is going to be. It's going to be difficulty 5 on the perception plus empathy roll, and that's including the fact you have the medals of Auspex.
Okay. Difficulty 5. That's 8 dice. Correct. 4 successes. And 2 10s with double successes. Assuming that insightful from perception applies in this situation.
It does.
So 6 successes then.
6 successes. Okay. In that case, what happens is you get a flash of memory. You see an individual walk in the room in which the stone is kept is perfectly circular. It's 360 degrees, a perfect circle. On the ground, interlaced, are a number of other concentric circles, and you can see power radiates from the stone in the form of a purple energy streams that come out from it and flow down this plinth onto the floor and then go around more concentric circles until they meet the wall, basically. You see an individual walk into the room. He's quite tall, but you can't really see anything to do with his face or his features. The one defining characteristic I will give you is he's wearing what appears to be a top hat.
Top hat?
Yes. You will see a number.
Victorian-like?
Very, yeah, a Victorian-style top hat. With you will see a number of entities appear from shadowy vapor in an attempt to stop him.
Oh my God! Can I see his skin?
No, you can't see his skin.
His eyes?
I'll give you his eyes. You can only see one of his eyes. The other is wearing an eye patch. He has one green eye, is what you can see. You see a number of spiritual entities race to attempt to stop him, but he flicks his wrist in a very kind of a nonchalant manner, at which point they are sent sprawling backwards before they return to the vapor that they were.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Basically, a number of spiritual entities attempt to intervene, but
to stop him, to oppose him.
Yeah, he sends them. He basically dematerializes them with a flick of his wrist.
Can I see his wrist?
You can see the fact he's wearing gloves.
Okay.
Except for the fact on his left hand, you see the fact he has a very, very ornate-looking ring with a bright green stone.
Okay.
He then walks through the concentric circles of mystical energy, and he just picks up the stone. He just literally picks it up. He even does a little playful. He tosses it in the air and catches it.
Okay.
But as he does so, you also get his emotional state. because it's the spirit's touch. He is dead on the inside. You wouldn't say he's dead. You'd say he's being piloted by something else.
Is that the same thing that we would describe Kindred?
You describe it as he was being dominated.
Who is being dominated? So can you repeat that? You broke a bit.
Oh, sorry. You would describe it as in the thief was being dominated.
The thief was being dominated, but he was dead.
No, he's still alive. He's 100% living.
Human, you mean?
Yep. You can tell he's alive from the spirit's touch.
All right, I thought it was Baron Samedi.
Nope, he is not Baron Samedi.
All right. So, okay. Anything else to the vision?
Would there be anything else? No, not really. It will then fade back and you will be standing where you were.
All right. Sir, forgive my rudeness. My name is Deimos. What may I address you like?
I am the ferryman of Dublin, and it's sufficient for now.
The ferryman of Dublin. Sir, might I project a mental image to your mind of what I saw?
I know what you saw. It's the same thing I see when I look back.
Do you recognize the person with the tall hat?
He shakes his head.
Do you have any suspicions or any advice where I should be directed next?
The energies required in order to perform this action were immense. Not only this, but the necromantic energies of the Stygian stone itself could be easy to locate if you know where to look. However, I cannot venture far from the places of death, so I myself cannot find it.
Excellent. I imagine I can.
I should hope so.
Well, where would you suggest I go?
I don't know.
Do you have any allies across the Shroud? My side of the Shroud?
Yes. We possess one. A man by the name of Duncan Campbell.
Duncan Kendall?
Campbell.
Campbell. Where might I be able to find him?
He will give you an address.
All right. Would that be all, or do you have any other ideas?
I cannot tell your future because you've already died. I wish you good luck, however.
I hope we meet again with the Stygian stone soon. Farewell, sir.
As you say that, he will disappear.
I'm going to the Uber driver. Buddy, can you take me to this address?
Yes, he can. However, I will have to stop the scene there because Duncan Campbell is actually another PC.
Oh, okay.
It's PC. So if you're happy with that, we shall call it there. So thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watcher, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.